Hello and welcome back to the Vibes Tribe On Demand Studio. My name is Edith and I am so excited to guide you through today's 30-minute Slow Flow Vinyasa Yoga practice for beginners. Thank you so much for being here. Meet me on the mat and let's begin our journey towards feeling good. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Let's begin by meeting in our tabletop position. So coming onto the mat, bringing the knees under the hips and the wrists under our shoulders, we'll begin moving through our cow and cat sequence to warm up the spine. Let's start by dropping the belly down as we take a nice big inhale. This is our cow pose, opening the heart, reaching the head towards the sky. Exhale, reverse, arching the spine, hang the head and neck between your shoulders. This is our cat pose. We'll take about 5 more rounds here. I invite you to flow at your own pace, letting your breath lead the way. If you find a place where you'd like to pause at any time, go ahead and do so. Starting with slow, mindful movement as we connect with our bodies, welcoming ourselves to our practice this morning. With permission to take our time, to focus on what feels good rather than what we might look like, and to just hold space for however we're authentically arriving to the mat today. Great job. Let's take one last round of our cow and cat. Flowing this final wave through the spine. And we'll meet each other back in our neutral tabletop position. So finding that flat back once again. Great job. From here, we'll take a little upper body flow before coming into a nice deep stretch for the shoulders, upper back, and chest. Keeping the right palm down, we're taking our thread the needle. And this is a slightly different version if you've done this in one of our practices together before. With the right palm down, once again, I'll follow my breath, reaching the left arm high as I breathe in, opening and stretching across the chest. Breathe out to begin to thread that left arm under and take a mild upper body twist on that exhale without going all the way down. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, opening the chest, stacking the shoulders. Exhale, gentle upper body twist as you reach the left arm underneath. Last time, inhale, reach high. Widen across the chest. Exhale, upper body twist. This time, continue the journey, bringing your left ear all the way to the floor, and you can extend that left arm as far as it goes, resting it on the floor. This is our full expression of thread the needle. From here, if you'd like to, you can walk the right arm forward, straightening it out. That'll deepen the pose for you. Begin to breathe deeply into the upper body, noticing where you feel tightness or tension without judgment. And with every exhale, leaning into that opportunity to soften, to breathe out the tension. And we'll take about 5 breaths here. Great job. We're using our inhale to expand And our exhale to release. Let's take one more round. Wonderful. Begin walking the right hand back. If you extended it forward, press into the floor to rise back up through tabletop. Option one last time to reach the left arm high, opening the chest. And we'll come back down, back through our tabletop. Instead of going to the other side, we'll reach that left arm forward now. And with that left arm forward, bicep beside the ear, engaging the belly, we'll also extend opposite leg, right leg reaches back. As we breathe in, we'll reach the right leg back, left arm forward, lengthening and extending. Breathe out to bring the elbow and knee to touch at center. Gentle core activation. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Last one. And exhale, bring it in. Great. Bring everything back to tabletop. And let's take one round of cow and cat to reset. Dropping your belly as you breathe in. Arching the spine as you breathe out. And coming back to center, we'll take our thread the needle flow. This time left palm stays planted. Reach the right arm high. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, mild upper body twist as you send the right arm through. Just hovering, not going all the way down yet. Inhale, open the chest, stacking the shoulders. Exhale, upper body twist. Perfect. Last time. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, thread the needle. This time we continue the journey, bringing our right ear to rest on the floor. As the right arm extends all the way through, option, just straighten the left arm by walking it forward. Once again, 5 deep breaths. Inhaling to connect and create expansion in the places where we feel the most sensation. Exhaling to deeply release and soften. Last breath. Walk the left hand back if it was extended. Press into the floor to lift the chest. Option to send right arm high one last time. And we'll come back to tabletop. When we get here this time, right arm extends forward, left leg extends back, engaging through the belly, nice and strong here. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Feel that gentle activation of your core. Twice more, following your breath. And when you're done, we come back to that tabletop, taking our final round of cow and cat. Meet me in neutral tabletop. And we'll continue the journey. Spread the palms nice and wide. Tuck all 10 toes. Reach the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Our first one of the day. Reach the heart towards the tops of the thighs and start to walk out the feet. Bending one knee, straightening the other, and then switching. Try to keep tension out of the head and neck, letting them hang and surrender. We'll take 3 breaths. Just getting a gentle stretch as we move here. Wonderful job. On your next inhale, we'll bend both knees and gaze forward towards the hands. Breathe out, walk the feet towards the top of the mat. Start to bend the knees and roll up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. And as you arrive, roll the shoulders back. Stand up nice and tall in your mountain pose. Arms by your side. 3 deep grounding breaths with your feet firmly planted on the earth. Breathing in, nourishing energy. Breathing out anything that no longer serves you as you connect to your inner strength through this mountain pose. Let's take this strength and continue our flow. Next, inhale, bend the knees, reach both arms high to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, flowing right into our halfway lift, sliding the hands up the fronts of the legs, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold, plant your hands on the mat. Slowly step your feet to the back, coming into downward facing dog as you breathe in. And breathe out, settling here in down dog. On our next inhale, shift the weight forward, coming into your version of high plank. Maybe knees are down, that's totally okay. And as you breathe out, lower slowly to your belly. Let's slide the forearms forward, Sphinx pose, elbows under shoulders. Forearms parallel, inhale, open the heart. Exhale, shoulders down. Holding here for another breath. Using our exhale to release, melting back towards the floor. Breathing in to push up through tabletop or your high plank. Breathe out, meet me in down dog. Well done. Once again, take a nice full breath in your downward dog. Exhale, let it go. Nice. From here, take your time, move slowly and gently. We're going to float the right leg above the mat. And you can do this just an inch above the floor, or you can raise it all the way up, whatever feels best for you. Take an inhale breath as you do so. Exhale, bend that right knee, squeeze it towards the chest as you step the right foot between the hands. Starting in our low lunge, lower the back knee down. Take one breath, just connecting here to the hips, to finding stability in the feet. And we'll grow this pose into its full expression. So when you feel ready to, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, and we'll rise all the way up into our high crescent lunge. So my back leg is straight. You can add a little bend in that knee if you need to, but my front right knee is strongly bent, and we can reach the arms to the sky from here. If arms to the sky doesn't feel good for you today, that's okay. Hands can always come to the heart or the hips. Find your breath. Ground here. You are strong, you are stable. Let's take a moment to feel that. Last breath. I'm going to float my arms down and step my back foot in slightly. I notice how I dropped my heel, and rather than my heel pointing straight back and my left toes pointing forward, I'm turning my left foot slightly out to the side, out to the left side. So we're opening it out at about a 45-degree angle. Make sure that your stance is nice and comfortable with how wide the feet are, and adjust accordingly if not. That back leg is still nice and straight. This front knee is bent. Coming into our warrior one, and I'm actually going to switch sides so that you can all see this a little better. from your point of view. So my back leg, that foot's turned out, and I'm reaching towards the sky. Now in our high lunge, we're facing more forward. Here in our warrior one, we're allowed to open up slightly towards that left side. Feeling strong here, let's take 3 deep breaths, shoulders down, reaching for the sky. Finding that warrior essence, it is within you. Last inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, float the hands down, reach the fingertips behind you. We're going to actually interlace the hands, thumbs on top. We're coming into our humble warrior. Take it nice and slow. If this doesn't look like a pose that feels appropriate for you today, just continue hanging out in your warrior one, or you can take a ragdoll forward fold. Otherwise, humble warrior, interlacing the hands. We roll the shoulders back, gaze towards the ceiling, lift the fists slightly. This is our inhale. Exhale, diving the heart forward, landing inside that right inner thigh. Relax the head and neck, surrender the upper body. You might need to walk in that back foot just slightly to enhance your stability here. We're not here for long, just 3 deep breaths. You've got this. Humble or peaceful warrior. On an exhale, gently release the hands, float them apart, rise up. Perfect. I'm going to pick up my back foot so that I'm coming back into that high lunge. Arms to the sky as I inhale. Exhale, float the hands down. Frame that right foot once again. And rise up to that warrior one. Let's bring the hands down to heart center. I'm going to pivot on my back foot so that the heel is lifted once again, facing forward at the top of my mat. And then shifting the weight onto that right leg, step the left leg to the top. Fabulous. Meeting here in our mountain pose once again. We'll come into tree pose now. Right leg is our standing leg and left leg will rise up. Now listen to your body. Depending on what feels stable and balanced to you today, we have different options. Option 1 might be just leaving the toes down here on the mat and turning out that left knee. Option 2, feel free to land that left foot anywhere along the right leg. Just make sure to avoid the knee. You want to go above or below the knee. Coming into tree pose, your version. Notice where you'd like to place the arms and hands. Maybe hands to hips, the heart center, or maybe you're feeling brave to grow your branches this morning. I invite you to take some time to explore and just play here. It's okay if you fall. Here in our yoga practice, we always have the gift of starting over, giving ourselves the grace to begin again. And that's exactly what you deserve. We'll see if we can take 3 more breaths. On your next exhale, release, lower the left foot down. Coming back into our mountain pose. Let's widen the feet now. Reach the arms to the sky, breathe in. Breathe out, bend the knees, forward fold, ragdoll fold. You can bend your knees slightly, grab opposite elbow if that feels good, and start to gently sway side to side. Maybe shaking the head slightly yes or no. And just taking 3 breaths to fully surrender. On that third and final exhale, release the hands from the elbows. We'll plant the hands on the mat
And step the feet back to down dog. Take 3 breaths, just walking out the legs, getting a gentle stretch here to reset. And we're preparing to take that flow to the other side. Bring the legs to stillness. And we'll begin with an inhale, floating the left leg as high as you want it to go today. Exhale, bending the left knee, squeeze it in towards the chest. Step the left foot up between the hands. Back knee lowers for low lunge. Resting here for just a breath. Connecting with the feet, allowing the hips to begin opening. And let's rise up into the full expression of our lunge, tucking the back toes and lifting the back knee. Lifting the chest, and deciding where you'd like the hands to land today for your high lunge pose. Finding your breath here. We'll take 5 rounds. Nice job. Staying balanced and stable by pressing down through that front left heel. I'll float the arms down and we'll come into warrior one. Drop that back heel down. You might step that foot in. That right foot's at about a 45-degree angle or so. Adjust the stance accordingly so it's wide enough where you do feel supported. And then from here again, rather than facing straight forward, we're opened up slightly to the right diagonal now. Warrior one, reaching the arms towards the sky, continuing to breathe. Finding that strength through the lower body. That strength and stability that we're cultivating here is what we want to take with us as we surrender in that humble warrior. Last inhale, lengthen, reach for the sky. Exhale, float the arms down, reach behind you. Interlace hands, and we'll take humble warrior. Roll the shoulders back, lift the fists slightly, gaze towards the ceiling. This is your inhale. Exhale, you might need to step the back foot in as you dive the heart forward, landing inside the left inner thigh. Surrendering through the upper body as we stabilize and strengthen through the lower body. A beautiful moment of balance and power. You're doing a wonderful job. And if you're able to, you can use that left thigh almost as a support for your left shoulder. I do encourage you to stay strong through the legs though. Our last inhale. Exhale, gently float the hands apart, rise up. Warrior one. Hands come to heart center. Fabulous. Pick up that back foot, pivot on the toes. Let's shift the weight into this front left leg. When you're ready, step up. Mountain. Meeting in our mountain pose, we'll take tree on this left side now. Left leg is our standing leg. Hands on the hips, turn out that right knee and decide where you'd like the right foot to go for this side of your tree pose. And I want to let you know it's totally normal and natural if you need something different on this side in terms of balance. Maybe it's a little harder to balance, maybe it's easier, that's totally okay. We're not making judgments of our experience today, we're simply arriving, breathing, and embracing what we discover. So if you want to play with the arms, feel free to do so. Coming into the expression that feels authentic for you. We'll just take about 3 breaths, breathing and balancing, maybe wobbling, and that's okay too. It's not about never falling. It's about exploring bravely and being willing to try something new, being willing to begin again. Slowly release on your next exhale. And moving through our mountain pose, we'll actually step the legs nice and wide. We'll take a wide-legged forward fold this time, hands on the hips, inhale, maybe gazing up. Exhale, forward fold. And you can release the hands. Completely surrender through the upper body, the chest, the shoulders, the neck and head. And if you'd like to grab opposite elbow, feel free. Full release here. If you're holding on to the elbows on your next exhale, let them go. Plant your right hand directly underneath your forehead and press gently into the floor so that you lift the chest and back slightly. We'll take a twist. Left arm reaches high. Breathe in, open the chest. Breathe out, float the left arm down. Switch. Left palm replaces the right hand. Inhale, right arm high. Opening the chest as you breathe in. Breathe out, bringing the right hand down. Great. Let's heel toe, walk the feet in, bend the knees, and just make your way down to the floor. Gently and carefully, we'll meet lying on our backs. Take your time getting there. Grab a sip of water if you need to. And when you do arrive, let's hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze and start to rock side to side. A nice massage for your lower back. Starting to slow down our practice. You've done such a wonderful job today. The next time you rock towards the right side, drop both knees for our reclined twist. Left arm reaches out towards the left side. Breathe into your belly and do your best to relax. On an exhale, we'll release our twist by drawing the knees back through center, right away taking them to the opposite side, dropping them to the left and reaching the right arm out towards the right side, taking about 5 deep belly breaths. Wonderful. On your exhale, roll back to center. You can give yourself one last hug, one final massage, rocking side to side. And then we'll come into our final resting pose. And I've got a couple of options for you here. As you release that massage, you might feel most comfortable opening the feet as wide as the mat and dropping the knees into touch. This is going to give you a nice soothing lower back release. Feel free to rest here for our final moments together. Otherwise, if you'd like to get one last gentle stretch through the hips and inner thighs, feel free to rest in a reclined butterfly, bringing the soles of feet to touch and letting the knees fall open.
Lastly, you're invited to simply lie here with the legs extended, closing the eyes. Let the body surrender and be held by the support of the floor beneath you. Breathe deep and give yourself permission to rest. Begin wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe stretching the arms overhead one final time. As you bring your awareness back to this present moment, we'll start to fully awaken, blinking the eyes open. In your own time, in your own way, rise up and we'll meet in a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me in today's 30-minute beginner slow flow vinyasa class. I sincerely hope that you are feeling empowered, strong, and supported on your mental health and movement journey. Thanks again for joining me in the on-demand studio. Make sure to check out the other recorded practices that we have waiting for you. Until next time, my friends, be kind to yourselves and take care.